The Four Nations just unlocked bonus content. Nickelodeon is going full franchise mode with Avatar: The Last Airbender, announcing a 2026 fighting game and a new animated YouTube series. The game promises elemental combat and character deep cuts, while the series will explore side stories and lore. Forget bending, Aang's exploring his IP options. Oh, my cabbages! I just
My
love that.
cabbages.
Oh, my franchises.
I absolutely love this. I'm probably gonna play the fighting game. I'm probably gonna challenge a bunch of other nerds to play the fighting game. And then I'm down to see this YouTube series because if they're gonna go deeper into the lore, I'm all for this.
Oh,
I
yeah.
already love the lore in Avatar, so it's like if they're going deeper into it, I'm all in on this.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Absolutely.
I hope they
Love
put it
it.
on. I hope it becomes a PlayStation exclusive, and so it forces you to buy a PlayStation. And then
Don't put these things out into the universe, James.
Fuck off, man.
I'm sorry. The zero reaction on your face, I was like, I think he just got mad. The one time you
Alright.
get young Phil mad.
I know.
What?
All right.
Hey.
So, anybody else got a take on the thing?
Cool.
Nope.
This
'Cause
sounds
I'm gonna
awesome. I'm
move
glad
on
it's
right now.
happening. I can use more Avatar. Let's move on.
All right, let's do it. If Pal survives this, he's officially action verified. I do love that poster, though. Edgar Wright's The Running Man reboot stars Glenn Powell as a man on the run in a deadly televised game show. The trailer is all neon, chaos, and commentary on surveillance culture. Is Glenn Powell reading from Ryan Gosling's playbook?
It might be.
Anyone?
I'm very excited for this too. I mean, I've been waiting for more and more on this just because I love the original Running Man for what it was. I mean, obviously, like you go back and watch it, and there's a lot of things that don't like hold up for now and whatnot. But like taking this IP, running with it, but then also metaphor
running with it.
But then also doing something that is going to be more along the lines of what Stephen King intended with this. I'm even more excited for it because the book was way more social commentary than the movie was. And I am up for seeing this in its full run. I think Glenn Powell is a good enough actor to carry this type of movie. Yeah, and I'm very excited for this, you know.
Yeah, no, it looks.
I have a little bit different take on it. Well, not really. I think I just come from a different place than you do on this because I mean, I'm lukewarm about the original. I watched it. I think I saw all the Schwarzenegger stuff because that's what you could see at the movies. So, I didn't not like it, but I was just kind of like, oh, it's another like, oh, we're going to Mars thing. Like it was just another movie for me. I'm really excited about this because it looks more gritty. It looks more dialed into that surveillance state and not as a almost like we're just blackmailing you into doing this. It's like he has stakes in this. And I felt like the Arnold Schwarzenegger one didn't really have a lot of stakes. It was almost like they conned him into doing it for like in a certain way. And so I feel like this will actually have a lot more character to it and will be a better story. So that's why I want to watch it. And I'm not a big fan of Glenn Powell, but I'm coming around on it. I still want to slap him, but I'm coming around on it.
I do like, and that's what I was mentioning is that it does seem like they're going to be leaning more into the social commentary, into the intention behind the book and everything like that. But I do have to mention that, remember, the original Running Man movie was the first instance that we saw like a true deep fake happen in that movie. In the sense of what deepfakes are now. Like they predicted that in like 1987 when they made this movie.
Yeah.
Right.
No, no.
Hold on. First off, let's give respect to the original Running Man because it had Family Feud's Richard Dawson in it, and he was a G in that show. He was amazing. All right. Secondly, those Arnold Schwarzenegger movies when he goes to Mars and there's women with 3 boobs, don't sleep on that, okay? It was amazing.
Well, I mean, he did.
On the 3-boobed woman?
Yeah. You know what? That's amazing. As a
We had the
kid,
same
You
seeing
know
that.
who else has 3 nipples? Chandler Bing.
Oh.
I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
Anyway, all I was going to say is I do not necessarily trust a corporate entity to do a really good social commentary about a surveillance state. At the same time, I think it'll be really good. I'm excited for it. Looks good. It kind of has vibes of what was that one movie?
There's a lot
Blade
of them.
Runner.
Fray that we watched. That was like the similar kind of thing where it's a game
Judge
show.
Dredd.
No,
Oh,
it
Oh,
was comedy.
Squid Game.
Jackpot.
Yeah, Jackpot. It kind of has a little bit of that in there too.
And who's in the jackpot? Who's in jackpot? John Cena.
Aquafina.
Yes. Aquafina.
Liu.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, real quick, before you get to the next story, you mentioned that you did love the poster art for The Running Man. A quick shout out to Drew Struzan. He was the Hollywood poster designer artist for years and years. He just passed away like today, 78 years old.
Oh my
He
god.
did all the amazing posters for like Indiana Jones, Harry Potter, all those like very much like painted pieces with all the different symbolism in the posters. So shout out to him, shout out to Drew Struzan. His artwork, Star Wars, his artwork was amazing.
The one that the Mandalorian's new poster is obviously based on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, yeah. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
So I really don't want to say this now that we talked about somebody dying, but fatalities are back on the menu.
Oh no.
That is the worst transition ever, and it's not intentional.
No.
It was very organic.
Yeah,
All right. Warner Brothers.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Warner Brothers confirmed you got to find comedy in life's tragedies, right? Warner Brothers confirms Mortal Kombat 3 is happening, with Jeremy Slater returning to write the screenplay. Slater, who penned the previous installment, is tasked with upping the ante, more brutal lore, deeper rivalries, and yes, gorier finishers. No casting news yet, but fans are already speculating which fighters will return and which new combatants, with a K, will enter the arena. The stakes are high, the blood will fly, and Earthrealm's fate is one uppercut away.
Oh, yeah.
So we know we already knew that this was something that was coming. We the plan from the beginning was they were doing a movie that was what happened before the tournament, the movie that happens during the tournament, which is the one that's coming out, and then a post-tournament movie, which obviously we know is going to be the third one. So what gives me hope in this is that the studio has enough faith behind this movie that they're greenlighting the third one before the second one comes out. Where I'm also kind of hesitant is they also did that with Halo, and Halo bombed. So so my thing is there's a little bit of distrust in studios and understanding what fans want, but at the same time, I like the first one enough that if the second one lands that same way, then I will be excited for the third one. So
yeah.
Why you gotta bring up Halo, man? Nobody wants to talk about Halo. Ugh.
I'm just I bring it up specifically because it's the studios not understanding the pulse at all.
I know. Poor Mortal Kombat.
It's just gonna get like weirder because the next thing that we're talking about.
So yes, I'm excited about this. If we want to jump to the next story.
Yeah, let's go ahead. I mean, I'm excited about it too. Don't get me wrong. Time to land the plane or crash it one last time. Paramount Plus announced that Yellow Jackets will wrap with season 4. The series has delivered trauma, mystery, and wilderness horror. Yeah, it's genre. And now it's heading toward a final reckoning. The hive is closing with one last sting. I have no idea anything about this. I haven't watched 1 second of it. Graveyard says it's amazing. I'm sure he's upset now. He's probably crying in his beer.
I was gonna say, I'm like, the one thing I know about this show is that Graveyard likes it. I'm like, so it must be gory.
And I mean, with this, like with whatever this is, this looks wild, man.
Yeah.
This looks like a crazy show.
I mean, so I've seen the first season. It's pretty wild. It is a good, decent show. You know,
Mhm.
again, it's I like the idea of it. It's like, you know, you crash land or like a bunch of I forgot what sport they play, but like soccer, a bunch of soccer players crash land, and they have to
Are
survive.
you
in the
talking about
wilderness.
Alive?
No, this Yellow Jackets. They have to survive in the wilderness, but like season 2 is them coming back to civilization after having, you know, having to be like they cannibalized.
Lord of the Flies type thing.
They've like really Lord of the Flies it
Mm.
until they
Yeah.
figured it out. They come back to civilization and it's reintegrating with like regular people, and it's nuts.
Ah. Oh,
You
okay.
know-
That's also Alive, the movie Alive. That was about a soccer team that crashed in the Andes and had to survive. Anyway, moving on. What's going on?
The one thing I will say about Yellow Jackets, I like that they're ending with a season 4. What that tells me is that they're telling a good story. Like, I know some people are really, really into the show. Some people haven't touched it yet. Totally cool. But knowing that they can contain the story and be like, let's just tell it here and be done and move on, I'm good with that. Because it has some big cast members. There's Christina Ricci's in it. You know, Juliette Lewis. There's a lot of big names in the show. So for them to like say, all right, we're done with it, says a lot about the storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. We should be
Sorry,
doing that.
go ahead.
All right. So the Enterprise is boldly going off course. The first look at Star Trek Strange New World Season 4 shows the crew stranded in deep space. Captain Pike's mission just got a lot more complicated, and fans are bracing for cosmic curveballs. Strange New Worlds meet Strange New Survival Mode.
Speaking of Yellow Jackets and eating people, all right.
There you go. Yeah.
Our 5-year
That,
mission
you
to get
know,
lost in space, like another franchise in space.
Vulcans are on the menu. All right.
Man. And not just every 7 years.
Uh,
All right. So
right. No,
that's a
it's
deep cut joke.
I
It's a deep cut
yeah,
joke.
it is. It is. It's okay.
Yeah.
No,
Anyway,
I
this
like that
sounds
they're
fun.
doing this.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Isn't this the last
again,
season for this too?
I believe
Isn't
so.
this like
I
the
believe it is.
final season?
I have
Yeah,
not been
so-
keeping up with Strange New Worlds, but partially because I'm now kind of protesting Paramount for various reasons. But
Okay.
You're gonna love the next story too.
yeah.
Wait, I was going to ask.
Oh
like,
no, I know.
You know, I was going to hold on. We talked about Paramount and Star Trek. They've invested a lot. They've come out with a lot of Star Trek shows. But what I'm interested in is how many people are picking up these shows. Like, what's the audience like for these shows? Like, you know, Discovery and, you know, what is it? Brave New. What is this one? Strange New World.
Strange New Worlds.
And then they have there's a couple new ones, and then Lower Decks. Like, are these landing? Are these
Some of them are
starships landing?
Some of them are. I mean, from what I've seen, it looks like they're mixed, very mixed. Discovery started kind of weak and then ended a little stronger. Some people liked Picard, most people didn't. Lower Decks, I think, was really popular. And then
that was a very niche fan base.
Yeah, and then everyone loves Strange New World, so
okay,
you know, I don't.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then we'll see about this next one. I'm looking forward to it. So let's move on.
Okay. Anything else, Phil?
No, I'm good.
Okay. College, the final frontier. The trailer for Star Trek Starfleet Academy introduces a new generation of cadets navigating mystery, danger, and Federation politics. It's Hogwarts meets warp speed. With the Federation in tatters, which of these unlikely misfits will earn the uniform?
Klingon, 100%.
Yeah,
Did you guys see the trailer for this?
I have, because of course I have.
I have as well. You got Phil, James?
I haven't seen the trailer
Yeah.
for it yet. I didn't know there was a trailer out for it, so I need to go watch it now.
I actually like stumbled upon it on Instagram, and it's a really good trailer.
Hmm.
Like I was not thinking that this show was that. And I was very like, I want to get me some Paramount here because that looks pretty good. So
Yeah, no, it looks really good.
it's
I
a really
don't
good
remember
trailer.
too much to it. But yeah, no, it looks really good. I don't know. Again, I think all of these have had good trailers, and regardless, but no, I'm looking forward to it. It's an interesting idea that they've been trying to do
Mhm.
for a long time to do a Starfleet Academy series. I do think it's interesting that it's like after Discovery, that it's in like the 31st century, I think. Because there's a whole thing there. But yeah, it's in the 31st century, and so it's very, very far in the future. It's the Federation's in tatters, as we said, and so I'm curious as to why they didn't set it in, the Next Generation era or something. But I'm curious about it. I'm interested because it is exploring new ground, and hopefully we're not going to have a bunch of legacy stuff, and hopefully we're not going to have a bunch of, it's going to be kind of new stories with the theming, and I'm interested what kind of we're going to get a little bit more ground level of the Federation and of Starfleet, and like, well, what does that look like? What are the internal politics of Starfleet look like? And so it's
and how they may tie it back into what we know of Star Trek, that's
right, exactly. And talking about, now we're in an era of time, an era of the franchise where a lot of the things that made up the Federation, a lot of the morals, a lot of the the lessons and things have kind of been forgotten or have been thrown by the wayside. There is no Federation anymore, or at least there is one, but it's very, very small. And so it's going to be exploring, can kind of dissect those morals and the foundations of that and be like, well, was this good? Was this, or should we try something new? Yeah.
Is
so
this the furthest, like in like a timeline, whether it's the Kelvin timeline or whatever? This is the furthest thing out there.
Yeah, this is by far the furthest thing out there.
Okay.
The Kelvin timeline takes place right after, I think. God, what's the series where Data's a captain?
Where Data's a captain?
Yeah.
Well, it's not. It takes place right after Star Trek Nemesis, the movie, and that's the divergence point from the prime timeline. And then they go back to
because
the original series.
It's still with what I'm trying to say is it's still within like the lifetime of some of the characters.
Because Picard takes place after the divergence point of the Kelvin timeline.
Yeah.
And so Picard was previously the furthest, but yeah.
I think what I was getting at is that I know Discovery did this crazy time jump.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
So this is after Discovery.
That's after the crazy time jump in Discovery. It's the 31st century. So
got it.
Yeah.
I wonder if what they're trying to do with this is they want to do something kind of like how where people in Star Wars want more things that are like not related to the Skywalkers. And they're like, hey, we want to create a series where they're not related to all of the characters we know and love. Yeah. And it's something that is new and it's so far away that there's no way it can be connected to a Pike
Kirk or Picard or Cisco or Janeway or
like you're not related to any of these characters, but it's in the future where you can talk about the exploits of these characters, or you can talk about things that haven't happened but make mention of like certain things and gives you an excuse to go back and do another show.
And it is kind of a soft reboot, if we're being honest, too.
Yeah.
I imagine that the people they introduce here, if this does well, if this is popular, will be, hey, now we're going to do a new show with this captain from Academy. So
good point.
He's graduated and now he's got a ship.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And again, last point I'll make is it's nice because it's kind of like how the Kelvin timeline was, you know, right after they got got out of Starfleet Academy. I can't speak. Right after like Kirk got out of the Academy and everything like that. So you kind of get some rumblings of the way the Academy works, but not fully. And this is a way to say, hey, let's go like deep into this, but in a timeline where the Federation isn't as strong as it was.
Yeah. So no, it's really I'm excited for it. I really am. I need to catch up on Star Trek. I know that Paramount is not good right now, but I feel like I
just gotta say, y'all are real big nerds.
Oh, we are. We are.
Look at the name of the show.
Yeah, it's in the title.
Are you now just figuring this out? Like,
it's called Distance Nerding.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I thought that was a typo. All right.
It's supposed to be Distance Nording, but you know.
Yeah.
That's for all of our buddies in Norway. Shout out. Shout out to Johnny. Shout out to Johnny and Sunny.
Yeah.
Stop talking.
All right. Moving on.
Mark Grayson's back, and so is the collateral damage.
Oh, God,
Amazon dropped the first teaser for Invincible Season 4, promising more blood, betrayal, and existential dread. I don't know how to say that word. J.K. Simmons returns as Omni-Man, still voicing the world's worst dad. The punches hit harder, and so do the feelings.
Yeah, with the way that they ended the last season, with the way they ended season 3, I cannot wait for this because I want to see the way that he fights. What was the villain that was beating the living crap out of him at the end of the show?
I don't know, like Ultra Might number 7. I don't know.
Yeah, he's a Viltrumite, but like he had his name was like Legion or something like that. It was he had like
yeah.
He had like a name like that. And that dude was so badass.
Is it Thrag?
No. Like I said, the name that he had was something like Legion. It was something like it was like one of those, like he was meant to be like an entire one.
Got it.
Right. Yeah. He was like the guy that you send to kill the.
Right. Like my hope is they've been kind of working towards a redemption for Nolan. So it's kind of like I want to see there be some type of redemption for Nolan where he comes back to Earth, fights this dude, and this like I kind of want it to create tension between Mark and Ollie, because Oliver's kind of on the edge as it is. Right.
Yeah.
So I want to see Nolan come back and it sparks something in Oliver where he becomes more violent and more kind of like more of a like he becomes more Viltrumite, and maybe Nolan has to like rein him in and rein him back.
Yeah.
You know, like
I can see that.
Yeah, you know, where like I said, like you have this kind of redemption arc in Nolan where he's starting to see the bad in the Viltrumites, which I never thought that you were going to see Omni-Man like kind of slightly become a good guy, but he's not there yet. And I kind of don't want him to fully be a good guy, but I want to see like there be a redemption where it's like my family means more to me than taking over the entire universe. Yeah.
Well, my take on this is I want to see Omni-Man beat the ever-loving shit out of Mark, because this boy needs to learn a lesson about taking the villain away from the frickin' city. Okay? These people don't need to keep having to rebuild their lives over and over.
This is why the Department of Damage Control was invented, people.
Look at that. Even that screenshot.
If I were a Viltrumite,
sorry,
I would go down and I would spank that boy so hard. He deserves it.
Yeah.
And then I would teach him some manners about other people's things. That's what I have to say.
Okay, so the dude's name was Conquest. The guy I'm thinking of, his name is Conquest. No, that's where I don't feel like Nolan would do that, because he came to destroy the planet to begin with. So I mean, like I said, I don't
rule the planet.
No, he came to destroy the planet, so then that way it was easier for the Viltrumites to take it over.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need to. Mark will just do it for him. Just like get him to another city. Eventually, he'll take out everybody.
That is partially why the government hates Mark to an extent, but I mean also because Mark is the strongest one that there is. That they're like,
He's so rude, rude child.
We're moving
All
on.
right. Okay. Speaking of children,
right. Sorry, I didn't take the
Rude child. Disney's latest fantasy grab is anything but subtle. Disney has picked up Impossible Creatures, a sprawling fantasy saga with dragons, hybrids, and world building galore. It's giving Percy Jackson meets Pokemon, and the merch potential is terrifying. Move over, Labubu. These creatures are the new vibe. Expect theme parks, plushies, and lore drops by 2027.
That's 100% the only reason Disney bought this franchise.
Oh yeah.
It's so that people like James will buy like 1,000
Oh, yeah.
plushies.
As I keep saying, money.
Yeah. I went to the Labubu
reason-
Pop Mart store and I'm like, and I was looking at the Disney ones. I'm like, I want it.
Am I the only one that thinks Labubus are kind of terrifying?
No, I look.
Okay.
Labubus are monchichis with
Mhm.
slightly larger ears, and they have like innards that like light up certain parts of their face. That's it.
Anyway,
They're just monchichis. This is just recycled, and I wasn't into the monchichis when they first came out. Why would I like Labubus now?
before we go on a tangent about Labubus, this looks interesting though. It is totally just for merch, but it looks interesting. It looks like kind of a I don't know. I don't want to say Fantastic Beasts because that's too like those were bad, but but it has that kind of vibe to it.
Isn't Impossible Creatures basically the same thing? Like Impossible Creatures, Fantastic Beasts.
Like Impossible.
Yeah.
Oh shit! It is. Yeah. No wonder I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. I actually looked up like I was like, what is Impossible Creatures? What the heck is this thing? I looked it up. It's this huge series. They've had a game. They had a game, and there's tons of books by Mockstop, and it's just it's crazy. But there's like dragons, and the dragon is like a Komodo dragon with bat wings. And like so they aren't like your traditional type of looking things. And so I think that was kind of it. But saying that it's like really world building galore, I think that's probably the hook for these is that because a lot of kids especially when you're younger and these books are meant for like 9 to 12-year-olds, that's when you want a world build. That's when you are building your own worlds in your head. So I think it's really cool. And if it's done well, it could be very successful.
Oh, this is really cool. I didn't even look at. Yeah, this is awesome. It's like steampunk and
Yeah. Yeah. It's like
all
really
about there's
interesting. I was like,
environmental undertones. It's good. Okay.
and they're
I'm
the
in.
new Labubus.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's I see it now.
I can't wait. For the
Disney
next
said-
con season. I can't wait for the next con season to see James walking around with a bunch of Labubus on his bag.
Why don't you just come over now? I got a bunch of Labubu.
They've got little needles in very specific parts of them, you know.
Car payment?
Yeah.
Nah, let's get some Labubus.
They might actually be worth something until that bubble pops. So I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
No, I'm
There you
I'm
go.
excited for this because going back to what Disney said and working on new IP and building out new IP, this is a good dive into them saying, all right, let's build something up and see what we can do with this. And honestly, this is very much, Harry Potter meets Pokemon type thing. There's tons of room, like what you said, for merchandising and whatnot, and grab people with a new IP. Okay, Disney, let's see what happens.
Well, it sounds cool. I'm curious. So,
yeah.
Speaking
You
of
know what else you might be curious about?
Speaking of Disney IP.
Rapunzel might be getting a Black Widow upgrade.
Oh, okay.
Disney's live-action Tangled is officially back in development, and Scarlett Johansson is reportedly circling the project. Whether she's Rapunzel or Mother Gothel, the casting is buzz. The casting buzz is already tangled, just like that sentence.
Along with your tongue.
Hair, drama, and chaos casting. Just another Disney Tuesday.
All right, I have two things.
I think she has said that she wants to be Mother Gothel. I think that's what she said.
And I think she fits Mother Gothel better. Also,
definitely
hot enough to be Mother Gothel. Remember, we have a whole episode where we talked about how
I wasn't on
So
that
okay,
one, but I saw it.
I have two things. First of all,
Mhm.
I am probably not going to see this movie, but I will walk in on it randomly. I will walk in on my mother watching it randomly, and then end up watching the whole movie. Second thing is, I was going to say before you were like, "Oh, Scarlett Johansson must be really Gothel," I was going to say Catherine Hahn, but that's me.
I think that's too
Catherine Hahn would be
close. I feel like it's too close to Agatha for her.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Whereas like Scarlett Johansson, I think she fits the character. Like, I mean, she obviously she wouldn't be Rapunzel. She's I don't want to say she's too old, but she is too old to be Rapunzel. Rapunzel should be someone that's like
in the teens,
late teens to early 20s.
Because she turns 18.
Well, that but I'm saying the actress, because a lot of actors in their 20s will play people that are 18 and stuff. So like the actress, whoever the actress is, should be in their late teens to early 20s. She kind of fits the age demographic for Mother Gothel, and is kind of like more of a, well, I mean, Mother Gothel is a hot older chick. Scarlett Johansson is generally hot, so there we go.
Yeah.
Smoke show Mother Gothel. That's
Smoke show Mother Gothel. I mean, she already was a smoke show, so I mean, like even more so.
Yeah.
Hot Gothel.
That was the name of the
episode.
And we talked
Gothel.
about when she had that lawsuit. When she had that lawsuit against Disney, and part of her settling that was like, hey, I'm gonna get other roles, and I'm gonna get producing rights.
Yeah.
This is probably one where she's gonna be like, all right, I'll be in it, but you got to give me executive producer, credentials and blah blah blah. So I could see that happening.
Right.
I'm down with this. Go Scarlett.
I am too.
I am too. I would like her to. I like that she wants to play a mother role.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, she's been playing the bombshell role for a bit now.
She played a mother role in a movie recently. She was the mom in Jojo Rabbit.
That is true. She was the mom in Jojo Rabbit. That was such a cute film. I loved that film.
Yes.
And I can't
Mother
believe I'm
knows
saying
best.
that was a cute film and it had Hitler in it, but okay, whatever.
But it was a Jewish guy playing Hitler, so we're probably okay.
Right.
And it was Taika Waititi.
Mother knows best. Yeah. Listen to her, mumsy. Sorry, am I still talking?
All right. So from
way too much
a tangled mess to Westeros is back, and it's grim, gritty, and short. The first trailer for A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms teases a grounded pre-Game of Thrones. I almost said pre-game. Pre-Game of Thrones adventure, but fans are side-eyeing the episode runtimes. 30 minutes in Westeros? Good luck surviving winter. The sword may be long, but the episodes are not.
I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so with this in general, we don't need long episodes for this, given the story that they're telling, right? I going into this, I knew we were going to talk about this week, and I was going to go right into the story, but after listening to comicbook.com, I have to go the way of Kofi and not spoil what I know, because I know, I think the majority of us in this on this episode right now know about this story about Dunk and Egg. So it's kind of like I don't want to spoil it for people who don't know the Dunk and Egg story, but the twist that does pop up in this is awesome. The twist for fans that don't understand. This is a really good middle ground between House of the Dragons and Game of Thrones. And I'm hoping they kind of go deep into some of the lore on this. depending on where they're going, because there are certain stories within Dunk and Egg that are like, God, this is a really good story, and I want to see it on screen. So I'm excited for this. I was surprised by the tone.
Yeah.
Because the tone in the trailer is very fun and whimsical and kind of, it's very much almost comedy like.
Yeah.
But I
Well, I
think
mean,
I think it's a
the
swerve.
novellas are very have a lot of comedy in them
Yeah.
though,
Well, that's what
too.
I'm saying. I think it's a swerve because if you know what happens in Dunk and Egg, then
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's part. I
I
think
mean, the overall story is not necessarily that comedic, but the the stuff between Dunk and Egg is always really comedy driven.
Yeah,
So
because
I
it's the
definitely
dynamic is what fuels it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
so yeah. I've actually read all of the novellas
Mhm.
on here. So and they're doing the seasons are like one novella. So that's why it's 30 minutes long. It's because there's something that's like 200, it's like 225 pages, I think, is what these novellas are. So it ain't a lot of story. Uh so I think that's why they're 30 minutes long. And let's face it, I kind of like that they're 30 minutes long. I love that the dramas are an hour, but I love 30-minute shows too because you get through them like that. I'm like, you're just like, oh, I just watched like seven episodes of this,
Yeah.
you know. So I think it's gonna be fun, and I'm so excited, and I can't wait because I love this. Dunkin' Egg, ever since reading it, is like my favorite. So I
Yeah.
say
Very
And
that
there,
about every one of these, but it is.
Yeah.
there's no rules when it comes to, show length. So if they've released some and here's like 30-minute episodes, or season one's 30-minute episodes, and then next season gets a little bit grittier and they do longer episodes, okay, no big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, as long as they tell the stories. I mean, as long
Yeah.
as they overall tell the story that is meant to be told, I don't find a problem with them being 30 minutes. I think people are just like, I want more of it, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like I don't think people are going to be as upset when they see the stories and when the story goes down because again, it is a short story that they're writing out for an entire season. Dunkin' Egg was a really good story. Again, when they do the twist and you find out who, well, I mean, we already know they've said it in the trailer. We already know he's Sir Duncan the Tall, but when you find out who Egg is, yes,
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
For
Well,
for
not even just
reference,
that, but the whole like what happens
yes,
in that story is
yes,
also kind of like, whoa, I'm actually really excited for next season
mhm,
because second book is my favorite.
Mhm.
yeah,
And so
exactly.
I love it. So
Hey,
anyway,
Yeah.
go ahead.
real quick for reference, Peacemaker season 2 episode 7 was 33 minutes long, and then episode 8 was 57 minutes long. So
Yeah. You can
Right.
do
double that.
whatever. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. No, I'm really excited for this. I'm always excited for more Westeros stuff, even though we got burned on
Mhm.
burned, huh? That's funny. On Game of
Uh-huh.
Thrones. A
we
lot of seasons.
A lot of
we
people got
did, but
burned.
also, and I'm just again, I don't want to linger on this, but just keep in mind that we're getting Dance of the Dragons in the next season of
Hot
House of the
D.
Dragon.
of
Hot
Hot
D.
and they saved because everybody was pissed that battle didn't happen at the end of season 2. But it's like, yeah, because they're putting two
That's
of
the
them in
first
season 3.
episode.
Yeah, like they're
Yeah.
putting two of
Yeah.
them in season 3, and season 3 is gonna start fucking hot.
Hot D.
Because literally we're getting Dance of the Dragons in season 3, so it's
Yeah.
it's well
But
worth
no. I love the universe, and so I'm always excited to revisit it.
Yeah.
So all right.
Dragons. Okay. So from Duncan the Tall to another tall, dark, handsome man. Oh, my back. I'm Batman. Warner Brothers Animation is developing a full animated saga based on Batman Nightfall, the iconic comic arc where Bane breaks Bruce Wayne physically and psychologically. The project will span multiple films and explore Gotham's descent into chaos as Bruce recovers and Jean Paul Valley, aka Azrael, takes up the cowl. No voice casts announced yet, but fans are hoping for a mix of legacy talent and fresh blood. I love fresh blood. In Gotham, the night always falls, but this time the bat might not rise.
Ooh.
This is one of my
Dun,
all-time
dun.
favorite Batman stories. This Court of Owls,
Mhm.
and there's a couple of different other ones that don't immediately come to mind. Court of Owls is one of my all-time favorites, but this
No
Night
Man's Land.
No Man's Land is another really good one.
Long Halloween.
Long Halloween is
Oh,
another
yeah.
of my favorites. Hush, obviously, another one of my favorites.
Mhm.
But Nightfall, just because it all leads into so much. You have John Paul Valley, and then when we take it away from John Paul Valley, Batman comes back for a little bit, but then Dick Grayson takes over as Batman. Like, I'm hoping that we get all of that. You know, I would love to see, especially if they're doing it as a saga. That means we're not just getting one of these, we're getting multiple movies. The same way, yes, the same way that they did Son of the Bat, right? Because they did like 5 movies for Son of the Bat,
Mhm.
right? The Damian Wayne storyline. So it's like I want more stuff like that where you have multiple movies spanning across an entire comic line, especially with Nightfall, because oh man, the intelligence and the brutality that Bane has not truly been put on screen. Closest was Dark Knight Rises, because they gave him that intelligence, they gave him that brutality, but it still doesn't come close to the way he is in the comics. And
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see the version of Bane that is so smart that he can outsmart Batman.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this. You know, that's
Me too.
my take on this.
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings on it being multiple films. Like, I like that they're going to tell a big story, but what are those individual films going to be like? Like, telling the big story, I wonder if it's going to be valuable versus
It'll
like it is a big story that they're just chopping into pieces.
It'll have to be like Batman will have to be like incapacitated in the first one pretty quickly. And then I know Dick Grayson takes over for just a little bit
Mhm.
at the beginning, and that's until Jean Paul Valley uh comes in on the scene. And so I would think that might be the first one, like where we get introduced to Jean Paul Valley, and like we think, oh, this is gonna be great. He's so amazing. He's gonna be a great Batman. And then the second one, we start seeing him just like devolve into madness because
The
of the powers
descent
he
of
has as
Jean Paul
Batman.
Valley. Yeah, like the descent
Yeah.
into just brutality and the monster that is Jean Paul Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the third one's gonna be the big, like the fight between Jean Paul Valley and Dick Grayson, where Dick Grayson kicks his fucking ass like
He does.
a little bitch. And then and then that's when we get Azrael.
Mhm.
So out of that, he kind of realizes, oh, I was being a big old dick. So I'm gonna not
But
do
not a
that
big old Dick
anymore.
Grayson.
I'm gonna be Azrael. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so I it could be done. It was a huge story. It was like crossed over from like all the Bat books. So it was like 8 different books, and it was like 6 months long. There's a lot of story in there. So they definitely have enough to do 3 movies.
And I mean, I've always felt that it would be a good crossover for lore wise if you take Nightfall and then put the Battle for the Cowl right next to it, because
Yeah. Yeah.
the Battle
Yeah.
for the Cowl, considering what happens with all of that, one of my favorite things with Battle of the Cowl that they could integrate with all of this is when Dick becomes Batman, Damian becomes his Robin, and the relationship that Dick Grayson and Damian Wayne have together is something like, it's so cool to see them, because he sees him as a big brother, and
Yeah.
Dick is like, so like me and Jen have argued this many times. Dick is the best version of Batman. He is
Yes.
Batman. If you had a perfect Batman, Dick Grayson would be him.
But he also deserves to be his own person.
Well, that's why he's so good as Nightwing. But I mean, like, you know, like if you had a perfect Batman, like Dick Grayson is that evolution. Dick Grayson is
Yeah.
you take all of the skill that Batman has and you take away all of the trauma, different kind of trauma, but you take away the specific trauma that Batman has. And you get Dick Grayson.
Mm-hmm.